Washington former Vice President Dick Cheney paid a surprise visit to the Capitol on Thursday, as Democrats in Congress solemnly marked the one-year anniversary of the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. The former vice president told reporters he was there to support his daughter, Liz Cheney, the Wyoming Republican who was vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6 attack. But he also wanted to come to Washington to commemorate the dark day. It's an important historical event. You can't overestimate how important it is, Dick Cheney said before he and his daughter entered the House chamber for a moment of silence. There, it was starkly obvious how many Republicans shared the former VP's view of the day's importance. Save for the two Cheneys and an aide, every seat on the Republican half of the massive chamber was empty. Over the past year, Liz Cheney's willingness to condemn former President Donald Trump for his role in inciting the deadly insurrection, and her refusal to downplay its significance, have made her a pariah within her party. On Thursday, as Democrats held events around the Capitol all day, Republicans were absent. Paper statements. No Republican senators attended a separate commemorative event held in the Senate, and Liz Cheney was the only elected member of the GOP who attended the morning session in the House. A few Republican senators released written statements that acknowledged the tragedy of a day when thousands of Trump supporters breached the Capitol in a failed attempt to prevent the Senate from formally certifying President Joe Biden's election win over Trump. A year later, the sadness and anger of knowing that it was Americans who breached the center of our democracy to thwart certification of a lawful election remains with me, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska said in a statement. We ignore the lessons of January 6 at our own peril. Democracy is fragile, it cannot survive without leaders of integrity and character, read a statement by Utah Senator Mitt Romney. Senator Mitt Romney, RUT, departs Senate Republican policy luncheons at the Russell Senate Office Building on April 29, 2021 in Washington, D.C. Stephanie Reynolds, Getty Images. Murkowski and Romney were among the 7 Republican senators who voted last year to convict Trump when he was impeached for inciting the attack, and the only ones to release public statements on Thursday. The other 5 who voted to convict were Maine's Susan Collins, North Carolina's Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania and Ben Sasse of Nebraska. Collins and Cassidy briefly addressed the anniversary of the attack this week in interviews with local media. Sasse gave the Omaha World-Herald a statement emphasizing that the violent attempt to overturn the 2020 election had been a failure. Neither Burr nor Toomey publicly marked the anniversary. Elsewhere, Republican leaders lambasted Democrats for the events, alleging the party was using the anniversary as a political weapon with which to attack Republicans. The actions of that day were lawless and as wrong can be, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy wrote in a letter to his caucus earlier in the week. But he also claimed that Democrats were using it as a partisan political weapon to further divide our country. Former Vice President Dick Cheney looks on as his daughter Representative Liz Cheney, RYO, takes the oath of office on the House floor on Tuesday, January 3, 2017. Bill Clark, Seek Your Roll Call Incorporated, Getty Images. For the elder Cheney, who served in the House for a decade in the 1980s, much of the fault lies with GOP leaders. I'm deeply disappointed we don't have better leadership in the Republican Party to restore the Constitution, Dick Cheney said at the Capitol Thursday. The leader of the GOP,